I don't even know if this is working right now.
Oh yeah.
It just cut. So, jeez, this sucks. Maybe it's good. Who knows? Just roll it. This is probably the worst intro you've ever seen. The three of us here.
The three of us.
What? Yeah, like you're Corey. I'm Jameson, and our friend Natasha. Hey.
Yeah, it looks like it's rolling. Professionals.
Yeah. So we're joined by my daughter's action figure right here to show. See if I have any questions for Natasha. She'll be live on stream tonight. Corey, what's going on, man? We're here. Welcome to Bad Publicity. We killed 46 seconds with a shitty intro.
It's more like troubleshooting, all right? We're just troubleshooting. We don't want to do a whole episode and no one sees it.
We can bounce back and recover.
There you go.
So, man, Wrecking Crew dropped. That's big news.
Yeah.
And we have, we're well on our... Thanks. Hey, Devin, how's it going? Appreciate you jumping in on the chat here. Natasha appreciates it. So how's your Wrecking Crew? You burning through some games of that?
Yeah, so I've got to play it twice on hard mode.
What's your go-to right now for that? New pack drops, what did you reach for?
Well, is this... I see what you're doing here.
No, I'm just more curious.
First play was your signature build of the Miss Marvel deck to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Which is maybe not the smartest go to play a deck I'm pretty unfamiliar with against a brand new scenario, but it was fun. I had a lot of fun playing the deck, and I really liked your build. And then after we lost, I played our Captain Marvel leadership, and then we won.
It really does depend on. I think all of these builds are really very team.
Yeah.
Team comp heavy. Like where you really have to kind of play to everybody's strengths and weaknesses properly, and adjust as the scenario goes along. Right. So.
Our first go through, we had a really our composition was not really great. It was like Black Panther, Iron Man, and then Miss Marvel, and that just we did okay. We just had a really bad turn that KO'd me, and then we all fell apart after that. So
I've beat it playing Miss Marvel, and I beat it as Black Panther. In that leadership build that was going around, I gave it a go. Made one or two card adjustments, and our group handled it pretty easily. Devin played Panther, Iron Man, and She-Hulk against the crew on standard. How did that outcome play out for you? So I mean I think the Wrecking Crew was very mechanically cool. I'm glad we got a new scenario now. I played it. We played it regular 2 times, and I'll play it on expert tomorrow. But I will change up my heroes, play it something new on everyone.
Yeah, we did it expert twice. So a lot of players in my group know the one I just want to play on expert. I just want to go right into hard mode and just get beat down.
Yeah, you know what? So do I, man. So do I. But I get outvoted sometimes.
Yeah.
So we're here to actually talk about our impressions of the Romanoff spoilers that dropped. So shall we get into it?
Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's a little late, right? Didn't these previews come out weeks ago?
No, I wasn't thinking
Better
that
late
at
than
all.
never.
I wasn't thinking that.
Took us some time to digest.
All right, let's kick it off, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Natasha, she's got 3 recovery in her alter ego form. She is tagged as a shield spy, and mission prep response. After you play a preparation card, draw 1 card. Limit once per phase. What do you think?
So, and I guess they go through, they talk about in the FFG article that the preparation cards, currently I think everything we've seen is just upgrades, which are kind of not bad things to play on your alter ego side anyway, to kind of prep and get up. And so to play preparation, and then they pretty much will once time, like, cantrip in a sense, like replace themselves with another card. Immediately gives you an idea that she's going to be a setup character, right? Isn't that what that's telling you? Is that she's going to have some setup components she needs to get ready and go for? So, I mean, card draw is good, and if preparation's her main mechanic, it seems to do right.
Yeah, so let me, I'm going to bring in her other side of it so we can kind of talk about the whole thing all together. So this is the Black Widow, or this is the Black Widow. She drops the Widowmaker as a response. After you trigger the ability of a preparation card you control, deal 1 damage to an enemy. And she is solid 2s down. 2, and 2.
Now, one thing I'll jump in is she's 9 hit points, which I think is the lowest we've seen on a character so far. And she's 6 hand size in alter ego and 5 hand size on
hero.
So.
Well called out, Eagle Eye, on the hit points. That's, that could be a little difficult, but she's got a recovery of 3, so I am not too much worried about her. I think we'll probably see, and there is also a lot of cards out there right now that can boost starting hit points or your health if you so need it.
I mean, we're seeing downtimes and endurances become almost staples in deck building right now.
Yeah,
so
unfortunately.
They're really good.
Crutch.
They're so good.
Yeah. Would you look at a card like this? So it's very interesting, and I think that overall my take on Black Widow is that I think she might be like a 1.5 kind of scaling on the how I would get a new player to ramp into the game. Where we talked about Captain Marvel, like Captain America and some of the other heroes that come with the core box are very much anybody can play it if you've got no experience. Iron Man and Black Panther are a little different, but they're still not drastically far out there. But when we talked about Miss Marvel, where she is a very combo centric, and what you're trying to do is play cards in a certain way and control your tableau, and your play style is going to have to adjust. She's not somebody that I would give to a new player. Black Widow is kind of like that, your ramp up in between, because you can see that she's triggering the preparation cards on both sides, so it is going to affect everything you play, because you get card draw when you play a preparation. But these preparations seem like they stay in play, but after you trigger the ability, then it deals the damage.
Yeah, but it's all assuming you play the preparation on alter ego side.
Well, that's what I mean, right?
Yeah,
so it's the timing windows.
Right. I mean, but that's good, right? That's a cool mechanic to teach new players. So it is like, it's kind of like a next step. She doesn't seem like as big as like an Iron Man as far as like a setup type hero that needs all these components to go. Like the preparations are nice additions, but you don't necessarily have to have them all out. The valuable lessons of like timing and like being able to flip back and forth to be able to know like, okay, I'm going to go back to Natasha, load up on some preparations, get some card draw, build up, then flip back and try to do as much stuff as I can with Black Widow. So maybe she's one of those that's going to be consistently like bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think that it's really going to teach new players how to kind of control and move and start your advancements into more of these advanced heroes that hopefully we'll start to see. I hope we get some real complex play styles, for the veterans out there. But this is a nice, gradual incline slope to be able to have to understand setup and then think a little bit ahead in the turn. It is interesting that this could be a very powerful ability, because after you trigger a preparation card, deal 1 damage to an enemy, there's no once per turn there, right? Like,
that's correct. Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how some of these preparation cards are carried out. Mm-hmm. Anything else to kind of say about Black Widow in general there?
No, I mean, it looks like she seems like an interesting play style. I guess after like diving a little deeper, she's got a little bit more depth to her than like probably like first glance. But yeah, she seems cool.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's take a look at one of the next cards that were spoiled out here. This is Covert Ops. This is a 3-cost event, and it's a thwart event. Action, thwart, remove 4 threat from a scheme, and also confuse the villain. I think this is really powerful for 3.
Yeah.
It plays in very thematic to the spy kind of theme in Black Widow, so for her to kind of understand what the villain's plan is, kind of foil it, to have that intel, really good. Removing 4 is ridiculous amount for the cost of 3 and a confusion on it. This is really, really bang for your buck here.
What's also really cool about this card is it's not a hero action. So she can use this while on alter ego side, which is good because the confuse means that if she stays in alter ego, she's pretty much going to ignore the scheme that the villain. Yeah, good call. Yeah, I mean that's one of the things, because a lot of these like big threat removal cards, they're usually all hero actions, so this is something that kind of like breaks that mold a little bit, to be able to remove so much threat and to do it without having to be in hero form.
Yeah, I'm really pumped to see her. That, I mean, I hope that she becomes that thwart removal. I think I'd like to see her be that over more damage related, even though she is that trained kind of assassin character. But having that spy training and that stealth come into play, I think it would be really cool from a theme if she's just controlling the thwart, so you can have somebody dedicated to that stuff.
Yeah, like she'd be able to get more stuff done in alter ego, which is something that's usually like not able to happen, right? That downtime, and there's a lot of heroes that they kind of have to take that turn off to kind of like recover, or they do a bunch of stuff where they flip. But that if she can keep having some really cool stuff she could do even on that side, would kind of make her stand out a lot.
We get into an event, Dance of Death. This is an attack. This is a hero action. Make the following 3 attacks in order. For 3 cost. Deal 1 damage to an enemy. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. So that's really cool. Because, I mean, you're basically doing 3 attacks, 6 damage for a cost of 3. Again, very, very powerful combo play. But this isn't even anything preparation related, so we haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes of her mechanic yet. So,
right.
If this is just a regular event, it really has me wondering how powerful are these preparation cards.
Preparation cards. So
don't sass.
And I guess immediately you're seeing some really good versatility. My question: is this a way to cheat tough, to get around tough? Because I guess in theory you do 1 damage, removes tough from the enemy, and then you could pour 5 on them right after that. Is that how that interaction works? Chat, confirm me. But if I recall, I think tough's the next time they take damage, right?
Yeah.
So it should be that you can then deal 1 and then deal 2, deal 3. So but also because you can spread it around too. So if there's like a 2 health minion here or a 3 health minion there, and you can remove tough, you just get to spread the love around.
So here's some questions that I have for this card, Mr. Corey. Okay.
Shoot.
Make the following 3 attacks in order. Okay? So it's basically saying on one turn, or one play of this card, we're going to give you 3 attacks. Is that 3 retaliations?
Oh my god, I would believe so. Because I guess in the same way, if it works like on like the tough interaction, you're technically making 3 different attacks, so then the first one would get negated by tough. So then I would assume that if you did this to get something in retaliation, you would take 3 retaliation triggers.
Or if there's a penalty on anything that says an attack, you're taking that penalty 3 times.
I mean, I would imagine so, because by the wording on the card, to my understanding. So it could be great, and it could be terrible.
And the best way that I've known to go into Marvel Champions is with a very, very straightforward read of the card and don't look too much into it, and that's how I read it. I also read this card that when it says deal 1 damage to an enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy, deal 3 damage to an enemy, that doesn't have to be the same enemy for each attack.
Correct.
You can
spread it around.
So you can see in the picture there where she's got surrounded by 3 people and she's just like boom, like I don't know, Van Damming a wheelhouse to the face, right?
Yeah, pretty interesting artwork. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, absolutely, and I think it's the cool thing because sometimes you get those situations on the board state where there's like a minion, like you have a guard minion on one of your allies, and then like some random like 1 hit point scrub here, and so to be able to throw around, it's almost like a very watered down version of like the Captain America shield throw to let you just kind of like sweep some of the board or just take off a bunch of triggers and stuff like that.
That is
very watered down. Good, like incredibly watered down.
Good comparison though. Kind of cool thematic to coming into her gymnastic,
right.
theme and training of the character. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Captain America, no matter how many people you shield throw, it's not a separate attack per person, right? And I really like the ability to maybe attack, like you said, a guard minion that you can't attack the main villain until you get rid of it. Maybe this one here can pop, knock off that guard villain quick, and then be able to pivot the rest of that damage to the main villain.
Yeah, and if you ever come across like damage modifiers, like something that increases the damage of your attacks, the fact that they're separate attacks then means they would get the triggers individually. So there might be some really cool combo potential lining up with this down the road.
Oh yeah, that would be meaty. That would be meaty. Anything else? That's the Dance of Death.
Yeah, that is a dance.
It raises some interesting questions. Well, I'm sure they'll clear that up.
Yeah. All right, so we're moving along. We're churning through these guys.
One of your favorite cards of the set is hey, we should be safe here at Safe House 29. Little known fact, Corey. Safe House 29 is far superior to Safe House 28.
But not quite as good as Safe House 30.
Don't get us started.
Okay, sorry. Could we not find better flavor text than "we should be safe here"? Black Widow.
Come on. That's a hard quote. Okay, so in Safe House, it's a 1-cost support. It's an alter ego action. So, obviously this, it's going to set up some kind of combination with your alter ego where exhaust Safe House 29 and choose a preparation card in your discard pile. Add that card to your hand. Pretty good.
Yeah, that seems pretty solid considering that by our guesswork, you're going to have to sack and spend preparation cards to trigger their abilities. So having a Safe House out can just allow you to put them right back in your hand after you use them.
Yeah,
seems solid. Seems like a clutch card.
Me likey. All right, definitely 2 Black Widows up.
Two. God.
I don't think there's many more. So I don't think there's many more to say about this card here.
Yeah.
I mean, if this
pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's in this set. I mean, you're gonna be wanting this card in there to get that recursion. This is preparation card. Flips, plays off her main mechanic. There you go.
If you have it, it's great.
Yeah.
You're gonna hope nothing blows it up. No one finds your safe house.
No.
I wonder, do you think they're going to give you other numbers in the pack, or do you think 29 is the only safe house they're going to give you in her deck?
It'd be nice if there was another one.
I know, just something else to make the number actually matter, other than them just
other than some thematic thing that she's got so many safe houses around the world.
Yeah, maybe there's something specific about 29 though in her story. So if you're really big into Black Widow,
let us
maybe
know.
there's something significant about 29 that I don't know about. Next up though, the next card is my favorite that's been revealed of her stuff.
All right, why don't you walk it through it?
All right, so dang, I jumped in. I took the first preparation card that we're gonna have.
I'll reenact it in the camera.
It's a 2-cost upgrade, preparation tech, the grappling hook. It's a hero interrupt. When you reveal a treachery, discard grappling hook, cancel the effects of the treachery, and discard it. Fantastic. You have to be a hero. You have to be on the hero side. But so it's one of those preparations. So you play it down, and if you time it on both, then it will replace itself. And then when you sack it to cancel a treachery, you can throw a damage out. But just having the ability to sack cancel a treachery is phenomenal. And the fact that you do it without any major negatives, because right now your treachery cancels are I cancel the treachery, you attack me. You have to take a bunch of damage or something like that. This is you just sack grappling hook, keep on moving, and don't replace it. You just ignore that treachery, carry on. Awesome.
I mean, is it safe to say here that I guess you have to be prepared to play these preparation cards? Someone had to say it somewhere.
Go for it. I appreciate it.
Thanks. I know.
Yeah. It's okay.
The writers of this show will get our full wrath after. But no, it's so it seems like from seeing these preparation cards that, again, bad pun, that you do have to be prepared, or they are to prepare you for stuff that's coming. So they're probably all reactions, right? And what's really nice about it from that perspective is, like other cards that we've seen that cancel treacheries, you don't have it bugging your hand size up. Put it on the ground, and then you're drawing fresh cards in your hand. Hopefully from this play, you're somehow able to, Natasha, draw a card from it, and then, discard that treachery with the grappling hook, and deal damage to somebody with it too from a Black Widow style power. So, I mean, that's what I like about it, is that it seems like you're going to build this tableau of preparation cards. I think her love, or my love for her, will depend on how many preparation cards we actually get. I'm sure there's some testing that went on. You don't want a whole lineup of these cards in front of you and you're just like, oh, okay, this is the scenario, and you're just looking around for which one do you discard to counter and do stuff. So it's neat. But if this is her main mechanic, I wonder how much meat and potatoes we're going to get from it.
Yeah, but I will say, the thought of having this and Safe House out and just be recurring grappling hooks to be able to cancel a treachery every single turn seems really strong.
Maybe could that potentially be overpowered though?
Well, again, the thing is, so as you mentioned, the fact that she has to trigger off these cards only has 15 total cards. They're not all going to be preparations, and all of her hero abilities trigger off these. So there's probably going to be turns where her hero abilities are effectively blank or don't really matter because you either don't have the preparation or to get the benefit of the time you play the preparation. So there's probably like that balance and stuff like that too. And I mean, it's all about timing. I mean, it seems like a lot of her stuff is all about timing.
Yeah, and that's well said. I think it's gonna very much depend on setting things up and maybe getting a little bit of combo here, a little bit of combo here, or a combo there. What's really cool from that perspective is if we read this card, it's a hero interrupt.
Yeah.
Right? But make no mistake that it just says when you reveal a treachery. So don't get it confused.
Good catch.
Right?
Good catch.
So don't think it's one of those wordings that just because it's a hero interrupt, that's not any hero. It says when you reveal a treachery. So only when you. Now, maybe you're the guy in the group that your job is to flip treacheries and then you're revealing all of them, right?
No, that's not how that works.
It doesn't work that way. No, so
good try.
Yeah, so just remember when you're playing this one, it's when the Black Widow player, we'll clarify that, right? When you yourself flip that treachery, that's the one that you do. So don't get confused by that hero interrupt there.
So then that balances out just fine then. On your previous question, is that too strong? Also, the fact that the safe house has to be alter ego to get it back. So, and the fact you can only flip one way, right? So you have to be in hero mode, you flip it, you go to alter ego, fish this back, play. You're not going to end the turn in hero mode to be able to use it that round. So it's kind of like an every other turn effect you could get if you get if you get that little like board state online.
Yeah, I agree.
Seems fine.
But I do think it does add a very powerful element to the game to have something that can be recurred like this. That's cop and treachery cards,
Yeah.
So,
because treachery cards suck.
Yeah.
There's no, they suck. So being able to stop them is always a good ability.
We got an upgrade that's next, and this is the Widow's Bite. We've seen this in the movies. Yeah. This is a preparation. This is tech again. This is a hero response, and it's an attack. After a minion enters play, discard Widow's Bite, deal 2 damage to that minion, and stun it. So I believe reading from this is because it's a hero's response attack. After a minion enters play, it doesn't say for you. So
correct.
I'm pretty sure you can use this at any time you'd like.
Yeah, and it might as well say deal 3 damage to it because you also get your trigger.
Yeah,
but you could spread that one somewhere else to that minion, stun it, and then just like have an incidental 1 damage you throw on the villain, or if there's a guy with tough or something like that. She seems so good at just removing the tough state. She has all this like incidental like 1 point of damage. She just like takes tough off of minions and villains like that.
Yeah, but I don't like the if
flavor text. I believe you. I'm with you.
Okay,
guys, what's up with the flavor text?
Again, very good cost. Very good cost to what you're getting. Having the ability to have this sit in a tableau state in front of you, and you can use it without it being from your hand is cool. I mean, I'm not overly blown away by it, but
right.
I mean, I expect something like this from a design state in what they're dealing with for these preparation cards. Again, so we have one card that's, to me, super awesome, and one card that's just okay.
Yeah, it's just like a meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
Like, it's a card that deals damage.
Yep. So I don't really have much else to say about that guy right there.
Yeah.
So getting into the last one that we've seen is Burn Notice. This is the obligation. Obviously, you give to the Natasha player. You can exhaust Natasha Romanoff, remove this card from the game, or here is discard the preparation card you control with the highest cost. If you cannot, this card gains Surge. What's your thoughts here? And Corey, you can start.
Yeah. So, am I wrong in feeling like this feels like one of the weakest obligations?
One of them. So I would say you're not wrong. I thought the same thing. I mean, we're going to really have to see. There has to be a reason, like, for that wording, rather than just give out a preparation. So maybe obviously the better ones are the ones that cost more.
Right.
Like, but I mean, really, all we're seeing is grappling hook costs 2, Widow's Bite costs 1. I mean, everything's also going to depend on game state, right? Like, do I care about the treachery card, or do I really want to pop off 2 damage because I need to protect myself from that minion, right? But I mean, that's still either here nor there. I've never been a time where I'm like, no, don't. If I lost 2 damage, would I, be really sweating it out?
Right. Compared to what we've seen these obligations potentially do to other heroes, this seems like one of those that, like, if you had to let it hit you, if you don't have any preparations, it does surge. So you can't get around it if you don't have any out. And it's also, like, are there going to be preparations that, like, line up with the same cost, so then you could just choose which one you want to get rid of? So it's not one of those that if you have a choice, you could just be fine by just not exhausting and flipping and removing this from the game.
Yeah,
it's not terrible.
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all.
Yeah, because it's like, what was the last one we did? Was like Doctor Strange, when we looked at that one, or even like the Captain America one that was just like not good.
Oh, there's some
of those that are just so brutal when they show up. Like, they're just disgusting, like the way they impact your board or the way you play. And this one just seems like it inconveniences you, but you could play around it.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Strange was the next event you play costs 3 additional resources.
Yeah, that's terrible. Oh, yeah. That like shuts them down.
Yeah, totally. But this one here, I mean, the preparation, as much as they play to your character ability, I don't think that they are detrimental to her, right? Like, we've already seen cards in her deck that are,
can let you recur them.
Well, no, I was just going to say that are good, or
Oh yeah, that aren't even preparation.
Preparation. I mean, Covert Ops remove 4 threat. That's awesome. Dance of Death. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, like, right away, I'd rather probably have. I mean, obviously, again, board state aside and stuff like that, but I mean, I'd potentially want Covert Ops or Dance of Death to come out before Widow's Bite, right? Like,
yeah,
I'd rather have that card in my hand and then just play it, rather than have something like this that's set up in front of me, right? Like these upgrade cards.
So it's one of those to note that, like, this isn't the worst if it triggers and you're not able to remove it from the game.
No,
but so it's annoying, but it's definitely not. Some of the heroes hit way harder than this card.
Yeah. So initial thoughts here. Overall, this kind of takes us to the end of the ones that were spoiled out. So.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear if there's anything like the chat brought up or mentioned. But I know, like, before we recorded, I know my initial impressions were kind of like, I don't know, she seems like she might be kind of like meh or like really basic. But as we've kind of talked it through, the way her timing and stuff works seems like it might make her a lot more interesting to play than like a. She might play similar to like a tempo deck would in like Magic. Other game, but it's like you're just like really reacting and like going with the board state and like just flowing along with what's happening and just being really good with your timing, which could make her a lot more interesting and engaging to play than that initially, like when I first like looked at her and read some of her abilities.
I definitely feel the same too. When you really sit down and think about her, to me, it was a little bit of underwhelmingness. I was underwhelmed a little bit.
There you go. You got there.
By her ability. But if you really think about how can I maximize these turns, flipping from hero to alter ego, and what you can play. I think maybe she could be the hero with the most flips, or the most that you're gonna want to play back and forth. You're really forcing her to go back to that state, do something, come back, and try and get full value out of both sides of this identity card. That said, I still think that she's a solid graduating up. Somebody that wants to take a more challenging hero to the table. This is going to be the one to do. I would still probably play this one next, after I've gone through all the heroes in the box, and if Captain America really doesn't tickle your fancy, and you're looking for that escalation in gameplay, I would pick up a Black Widow deck and get pretty hyped about the introductory into her. I'm going to need to see more of what these preparation cards do, and the balance between how powerful they are compared to the normal set.
Yeah, my biggest reservation is 9 health and maybe that's another way to force the player into getting really good at bouncing between alter ego and hero, because you flip the hero, get hit, and you're already like, I'm already below half my hit points. I took 1 hit, and I got to flip over and heal. So I'm hoping maybe she gets something, that she gets some good like damage mitigation or something to kind of play with that.
You know what? Here's an interesting thought. I was kind of, as you were saying that, trying to think if you feel if they're going to include some kind of healing in her pack. If that's needed, if that's not needed. And now I think I really hope they don't. I hope that I think I would more be in love with this hero if at the 9 hit points, if she had that interesting card set, where it was maybe a little bit of overpoweredness, because maybe you got to come in, you got to do your thing really quick, get out, you flip back, and then you just
I like where your head's at,
and then you just have to use her recovery ability while you're on the other side, and maybe that's all you have, unless you build in a Black Widow protection deck or something and do that for herself. But I don't think I really want to see any kind of let's call it like pure Black Widow faction. I don't know if I want to see any kind of healing from her at all.
Would you accept something kind of like a wiggle room from Ms. Marvel? Like a single card, something like that? That's almost like an evasion, like prevent X damage, replace itself?
Prevent damage, I'm on board for, but if you get hit,
you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
You gotta flip over and recover it.
Yeah.
Thematically, I love it.
Yeah,
and I think the way you described it, where it does have that like covert ops, like agent feel, where it's like high risk, high reward in a sense. Like she's got to get in, and then she flips back over and like recovers and builds back up for her next mission. And then she goes over. No, I see what's going on here.
Right,
I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
And if there is a card in there, maybe a preparation card where it's you sacrifice it, the preparation card, and then you sacrifice your hero card and you get the soul stone.
Oh my god, too soon. It's too soon. Oh no.
What?
Oh, it's got dark real quick. Oh, spoilers. Sorry, you forgot to put the spoilers tag. Meanwhile, see Black Widow in theaters coming in May.
Yeah. No tie. No, but
hashtag sponsored. Just kidding.
Yeah, Disney, send us another check, because the first one we blew on the production value. No, but I all kidding aside, I think I would like to see, probably again, there's probably going to be a preparation card. I would say discard that, kind of the same thing. You're going to be able to discard or mitigate damage but from that aspect, I don't want to see any heal from her. Like, she's really just somebody with, she doesn't have any kind of special superpowers herself, right? Like, she's just a really good gymnastic ballerina assassin, right? Like,
yeah, I think there's like a much darker story to this, as far as like her at a young age going through this like torturous, rigorous training program. But
it's I mean, okay, so she's pushing the human element farther than it is, but I mean, right. she's technically human, right? So I mean, it's not like she can just sit there and heal up, or she's not wearing 500 pounds of crazy Iron Man armor, or a secret, Black Panther suit that charges every hit kind of stuff, right? So to me, a hit is a hit to her, and if she
also again, the 9 hit points makes a lot more sense. I mean, again, like as you described it with like your vision of how it is, like thematically, I'm 100% on board. It makes sense when you describe it that way, and then seeing now how parts of the deck come together, and then seeing how that's kind of brought out in the play style. Actually has me a lot more excited to try this out than initially when we started, because like going into it with that mindset and that idea of like how the deck like builds up and prepares for the mission and then goes on, it's just like, this seems cool. This seems really fun in that way.
Oh, I wonder if maybe,
and then to have like that risk always over your head.
Yeah. Do you think it would have been cool if she had started before this game, almost like a setup action where you can start with one preparation card in play, so you actually are prepared to go on the mission? Would that have been?
Well, you don't know what your mission is yet, right? You got to figure it out. You got to figure out what's ahead of you once you get to the first thing. But also, you could just mulligan, right? I don't know. It might have been too good to go and grab because what's going on the battlefield.
That's true. Probably. Yeah. Since it's going to affect the rest of the the combos.
If she plays one, and if she plays one turns one, it replaces itself. So she, in essence, could almost have a hand size 7 if you're able to drop a preparation on the first turn.
Yeah. Well said. Okay. Who knows? Or I mean, maybe that would have had to been like her whole stick is, maybe she starts already set up, and once you use these cards, they're gone, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, hey, here's 4 preparation cards. Put them out as your setup, and then they're one-time use. Boom, they're removed from the game. Boom.
Yeah. I'm sure they played around a lot of stuff in testing, but
or there's 8 preparation cards, and you, Corey, have to pick 4, and then you can only play with game. You can only play with 4 of them. So you decide what 4 you want to start in play at the beginning of the game, and then from there, they're done, one-time use.
Yeah, that really stops being a 1.5 beginner's deck then at that point, right? Well, so yeah, but cool, yeah. So I give her thumbs up. See what other cool stuff comes in it.
I'm as well. Looking forward to see what the rest of the Black Widow set flushes out, and we'll hopefully get a tingling of that as we get closer, and we'll see. All right, guys. We don't have anything else for you this week, so thanks for tuning in. This was our impressions of the Black Widow spoilers. If you've made it this far, a like and a subscribe is duly appreciated. Thank you very much for those that watched live. Thanks to those that, Devin was firing the chat off today. That was cool. Some people Some people like to watch and not participate, and that's still fine. But I mean, hey, we always like to read your comments before, after, or during the shows. So if you catch this on the replays, fill the comments below, and we do read everyone. So thanks a bunch, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Happy gaming.